Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. On behalf of the organising committee, I would like to welcome you all here to our community hall in Butlersbridge. I want to welcome Enda and Paddy here, who are representing CYMS in Cavan. Michael Mulvey, who's representing the Board of Management of Butlersbridge National School. Sorry, I see Father Kevin down there. I need him up here as well. When you're ready, Father. Don't spill the tea. Father Martin Gilchrist, who's representing the Pastoral Care and Management Department of Cavan General Hospital. The man himself here, Father Tom, and Father Kevin, our ADM as well. So you're all very welcome. We're gathered here in the hall in Butlersbridge this evening to say farewell to Father Tom. But not only to say farewell, but also to say thanks. Thanks for 8 years great work in the parish. And I'll come to that in a minute. But first of all, a brief word about Father Tom. And I think the word brief is an appropriate word to use when we're talking about Father Tom, because he says so himself. When he was speaking at Father Andrew Tully and Father John Gilhooly's farewell in the cathedral, he started off by saying that a homily should have a good beginning and a good end, and the closer you keep the two of them, the better it will be. And Father Tom never disappointed us in Butlersbridge on that front. So thanks for that, Father Tom. Father Tom, as most of you know, is a native of Williamstown in County Galway. After his ordination, he joined the Norbertine Order in Kilnacross, and his work took him across different parts of the country. In 2000, he came to work in the diocese here in Kilmore, and in 2005, he came to the parish of Annagh and Annagelliffe. And as Father Ulton said down in the church there, his time was nearly evenly divided between Cavan Town and Butlersbridge. We were lucky enough for the last 4 and a bit years to have had Father Tom living here in the village. Father Tom the man, well, I always saw him as a gentleman and a thorough gentleman, if you know what I mean. He's kind, caring, compassionate, and above all else, a very humble man. And something that I learned about Father Tom over the years from being at various meetings with him, he's a very good listener. And very often when people would be going on and on about something, Father Tom would keep his cards close to his chest, but near the end he would sum everything up in 1 or 2 sentences, and people would be saying afterwards, you know, Father Tom was right in what he said. And that was a great skill, to be able to sum up the whole lot after listening to a lot of maybe waffle beforehand. Anyway, turning to Father Tom's work in the parish, and I'm only going to briefly touch on this because there are some people here who can speak far better on this than me. But Father Tom, along with the other priests in the parish, were responsible, I suppose, for the pastoral needs of their parishioners. And Father Tom had particular responsibility at this end of the parish for the last 4 years. And his visiting of the sick and his First Friday calls were part of his work. And I know many people here who look forward to Father Tom calling on a First Friday. Also, he would have said Mass here in St. Aidan's on many occasions, as well as in the other churches in the parish. He would have officiated at baptisms, First Communions, marriages, confirmations, funerals, and many other liturgical events as well. He was involved in 3 different schools, as Father Ulton said, on the Board of Management here in Butlersbridge, in Drumcrab and in Crugenny. Chaplain to Escor Lodge Nursing Home, which was very close to his heart. And he was also chaplain to St. Joseph's Young Priest Society, I found out today, and also to their Provincial Council in Armagh. Many people will remember Father Tom for his work in Cavan General Hospital, and I'll let Father Martin elaborate more fully on that in a few minutes. Also, Father Tom was chaplain to Cavan CYMS, and Enda will say, or Paddy will say a few words on that in a minute. So that's only some of the work that Father Tom was involved in. So you can see he was a very busy man, but he went about his work in a very quiet, dignified way. And I think it was this dignity and quietness that won the hearts of the people of Butlersbridge and indeed of the parish in general. So it is my great privilege and pleasure to present Father Tom on your behalf with a laptop, which will hopefully help him to stay in touch, not only with Butlersbridge and the rest of the parish, but with the world at large. And he can always check on to the Bridge website and see what's happening. And I know I speak for everybody when I say that Father Tom will always be welcome in Butlersbridge and indeed throughout the rest of the parish. So Father Tom, I'll present you now with a laptop. I'm not going to call him Father Tom. We'll leave Father Tom until last. I told him that there, rather than having responding to everybody individually. Just before I go any further, I just want to record a couple of apologies that I received today and yesterday. I had apologies from Raymond Dunn, who's in Dublin and couldn't be here, from Packy Conley, who has a medical appointment in the morning and couldn't be here, and to Matthew Riley from Drumalee. Matthew was actually at Mass and was here in the hall area, but he had to leave to, as he said himself, do his hour in St. Phelim's. I think it's adoration or something, so dedicated to the cause, but he said to pass on his apology for having to leave. Now, I would like to call on our ADM, Father Kevin Donohoe, just to say a few words.
Thank you, Gerry. Well, the buzzword tonight seems to be brevity, so I'm not going to break that. I just want to say on my own behalf and on your behalf, our very best wishes to Tom as he departs from this parish after great service for the last 8 years. As you all know, I've just had the pleasure of working with Tom for 2 years since I came here, and Ultimate alluded to a lot of things tonight which are very true, but and other speakers have too. But one thing I'll say about Tom, 2 words that come into my mind, is gentleness and generosity. And generous with his time, and he has certainly been that to me personally as well. There have been many different occasions since I came to the parish where different kind of emergencies cropped up that I had to go, and Tom would always step into the breach, and indeed the other guys too, I must admit, but Tom would always step into the breach and say a mass or whatever, and I'd even want to explain to him why I had to go. He never wanted to know. Don't tell me, he says, all right, I'll do it. So it just again tells us a little bit about the person of Tom and his generosity with his time. As was said tonight too, Tom has been involved in a lot of different things, and all done in a very quiet, inoffensive way. Tom is not a man for fuss or anything like that, or fanfare. He likes to do things very quietly, and he certainly is a gentle person in lots of ways, but a person who says what he means. If Tom has something to say to you and you mightn't like it, he'll say it anyway. And I suppose that tells you the strength of who he is. He says it as it is, and we have to respect that from him too. So Tom, I want to, on a personal note, say thank you for all your time here and the work that you have done, and for your generous time to me as well, and to wish you every good luck in your new parish, and as been said, do come back and visit us sometime. Thanks very much.
Thanks very much, Father Kevin. And now I'd like to call on Father Martin Gilcrease, who's going to make a presentation to Father Tom and maybe say a few words on behalf of the pastoral care unit in Cavan General Hospital. Father Martin.
be here on this suspicious or auspicious occasion. I want to, on behalf of Richard Clark, the General Manager of the hospital, and the management team, and Father Gerry and myself in the Pastoral Care Department, to thank Tom for his commitment to assisting us in the work that we do in the hospital. We call the people who fill in the gaps the locums, who come in and do their job. And I know that for a lot of families and patients who have had to be assisted and guided and supported by Tom when he would be on call, was greatly appreciated. And I know that for staff as well, they also appreciated his calmness, especially in very difficult circumstances. And I know that one family wanted me to express to you, especially a couple of years ago, one of our colleagues was tragically killed in an accident while at work, and Tom was called in initially to deal with the situation, and as you can imagine, it was a very dramatic situation for everybody, and he came in very calmly and coolly, did what he was asked of him, and gave the people the dignity that they really appreciated. And the family wanted me to express that to you, especially on this day, and I know you know who they are yourself, Tom, so I won't elaborate any further than that. But you are now just one of many occasions over the years that he assisted people, and I greatly appreciate that. Anytime we did ask him, as Kevin has already said, he never said no. And sometimes I used to drive him a bit crazy because I have to be responsible for a lot of things, and some of the administrative stuff I try to do is not always something that we're always comfortable with. And you might think that there's lunacy in the things that we try to do at certain times, and he often wondered the logic of it, and to be honest, I often wondered the logic of it myself at times. But I also appreciated his honesty and his advice to me, and on many occasions I used to go out and assist him with his smoking a cigarette. And we would have a lot of discussion in relation to a few things like that, and I do appreciate that and that. And I suppose where he's going to in Glencar, it's a completely different experience at one point. I was in Glencar for a couple of years myself, and a lovely place in North Leitrim. And I felt, how could I actually reflect on what would be important to present to Tom in relation to that? So I went in and to a shop in town, and I just saw something that I said would be very important. He's going to be on near the lake in Glencar. There's a lot of people who do a lot of fishing there, so he might just get a little boat, and he might get a fishing rod and a wee hat on him, and a wee dog, and he could just move around into the middle of the lake, and then he could have a quiet cigarette and nobody would annoy him there. So on behalf of all of us in the hospital, I wish you all the best in Glencar. I know you'll be very happy there, and may God bless you in the work that you will do.
Father Martin is going to present Father Tom. Father Kevin is saying here, behind me, fishers of men. Funny enough, I never saw Father Tom on Annagh Lake, but that'll change. And as regards the cigarettes that you mentioned there, unless they're in that blue box, Tom, I'm afraid you're doomed. But anyway, thanks very much, Father Martin. Next I'd like to call on Mr. Michael Mulvey on behalf of the Board of Management of Butlersbridge National School to say a few words and to make a presentation, Father Tom. Michael.
Thanks very much, Terry. Reverend Fathers, Sisters, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on behalf of the Board of Management of Butlersbridge National School, where Father Tom served as chairperson since the time he has come here to Butlersbridge. Now, during that time, there was quite an amount of activity around the school, with an extension built onto it, with a new play area, astroturf area put onto it, and between that and dealing with staff coming and going to the school with the way the education system is now, and you have temporary staff coming in, and you may not be in a position to fill positions and all of that. It entails a lot of time with interviews and all those issues, but Tom took them all in his stride and dealt with them very professionally. The one thing that Father Tom always kept at the forefront of his mind when he was dealing with matters related to the schools was the well-being of the children there. That was foremost in his mind, that everything and anything that he done during his time as chairman of the Board of Management was for the benefit of the young people and in the school and in the area, and for the staff in the school. And for that, I want to say a very sincere thank you, Father Tom, for all your help and work at the school. And it was only, as we hear tonight, it was only one of 3 boards that Father Tom was on. So apart from all his other clerical duties and that, dealing with boards of management does take up an awful lot of time, and we are very, very much grateful to you for all of that. And we have a small wee presentation to make to you on behalf of the Board of Management. It's going to be a watch, and it's just I see you're already wearing one, but maybe when you look at this watch it'll remind you of your time in Butlersbridge. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael. And I know the principal of Butlersbridge School, Niall Clerkin, is here, and Niall just asked me to